I know I shouldn't have been at the pavilions with someone my best friend used to love, doing what I was doing, and especially not with someone Jerry hated. Part of me kind of had a feeling that Jerry, the controlling, weird boyfriend, might have something to do with it because of something he might have seen between me and my best friend's ex. Prom. The night I should have stayed home. A short story by me, SNP. Type sheet. Most of the kids at school were excited about the matric farewell or prom, and it would be like a discussion of most of every class leading up towards prom. Everyone was looking forward or excited about all the people that be cheering them on as they walk down the runways, their dates, the venue, and the whole setup of the whole night. Everyone had visions of feeling or being treated like a celebrity for the night. I had visions too, and none of them came true. And if I'm being really honest, I don't think I actually wanted to go to prom. Everyone was planning and had this image of themselves like when they step out of their car that they probably rented for the night, beautiful car, and pretending to be royalty with your pretending and like planning out how you're gonna walk out of the car, your dress, your walk, the car, obviously, literally everything. But also for me, I think this was way before I realized prom didn't mean anything, not to me at least. And everything just started strangely on the day. The whole day just started strangely. Anyone that asked me who I was going with, I'd literally just give them a name from like someone from our class, just a placeholder to keep them out of my business, when in actuality I was planning to show up with like someone not even from our town, just to be unique, the whole like doing something different, and just keep people guessing and out of my business. My best friend at the time was supposed to go with her ex, the good one, the one she left for Jerry, the one she would run to or back to when Jerry started finally showing her exactly what kind of guy he was, which was controlling, violent, stalkery. The kind of guy that didn't want to be told no, especially not in public, of course. And she had fallen, my best friend had fallen a year behind, so her actual prom or matric farewell would be the next year. So this was just an opportunity for us to spend to celebrate a farewell together, and with someone she knew, someone she was familiar with, someone safe. It really felt like it would be like old times, kind of, where most of the time I'd be third wheeling, just always around them too, with the good guy, and it would be like old times. But when the day came, none of them showed up. Not my best friend, not her ex. And a part of me kind of suspected that Jerry had something to do with it. Then came time to leave for the venue, and everyone was allocated after the show off in the runway, allocated to the buses that they'd be leaving in. Ours was the third one, and the back seat was empty, and most of the time the back seat was like reserved for the cool guys, the cool people, the older ones. So I never really got to sit back there, and actually that was one of the few open spaces, so me and my other classmates headed for that space. And the back seat felt quite empty because my best friend and her ex still hadn't showed up. They still weren't there. And I tried to convince myself, like, no, maybe they just decided to skip the runway, not to make people talk. It's a small town. They'll just show up in the bus when we have to leave. They didn't. Instead, Jerry was there. I remember very well, amongst the people standing front row next to the corridor, rather the runway, and he was just looking with a blank stare, white shirt, no smile, hands in his pockets, just looking straight and deadly at me and the dude I was with. I may not know if maybe that was his face that day, but I knew something was off just by how he looked. His face was completely blank, completely dead. At that moment, hindsight, I started realizing maybe I shouldn't have gotten into that car, the car of my best friend's ex, because I just knew it had something to do with what we were doing together at the pavilions. I knew it had something to do with what he might have seen at the pavilions. I wasn't supposed to be doing what we were doing at the pavilions, especially not with someone Jerry hated and not with someone my best friend used to love. The night at the venue for me was quite a blur because now I was barely there. I was the ghost now because I don't quite remember anything except just thinking, where are they? Where's the ex at least? Why did he ghost everyone? What happened to them? Where's my best friend? They could walk in maybe in a minute now. They were late. They came with private transport. But that didn't happen. None of them ever walked in. No one came. I kept expecting them the whole night. Not to mention how I had a date that didn't know anyone there, and we sat in silence for most of the night because my mind was also occupied by so many thoughts, racing thoughts, and the whole night was just a blur. I tried to act normal, like convincing myself, no, nothing happened. They just flaked. That's all it is. I remember thinking, screw the term YOLO, because I didn't need that like FOMO to be like, oh, what if you miss out on this promise, lock the person out of your life? I really could have just used the money to go on a road trip or something that meant something to me, something that would have been fun and not come with guilt and basically whatever that was the whole night, just me being numb the whole night. Instead, the only thing on my mind was he definitely saw us. And now they were gone. No one knew where they were. And it's kind of my fault.